they can emerge as a poll power if they do win this Delhi election.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. It is a Wednesday, the 5th day of February for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports. A little friendly conversation here this morning. Going to be talking about Nebraska men's basketball player Bryce Williams. He's received a couple of more honors, this time on the national level. 3 Nebraska's softball players have been recognized as the Big Ten players to watch this year as we get ready for the softball season. That'll kick off for Nebraska on Thursday. Hastings College basketball teams will be in action tonight as they take on the Lancers of Mount Marty. Let's see what else is going on. The UNK softball team, they picked up a win and a loss yesterday in their season opening series. They're playing in Honolulu this week. And the big game going on between Adams Central and St. Cecilia last night in boys and girls basketball. We'll tell you how that came out. Hastings High also in action last night. They were on the road playing at Grand Island Northwest. And 6 Sandy Creek seniors have signed their national letters of intent to pursue their college careers. We'll tell you all about that coming up as we get you through the hour here this morning. As we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
And a good morning to you, Mike, as we get going here on a Wednesday. And on this Wednesday, we'll dive into several stories on the even national to statewide to local news front. Department of Education, obviously in center focus yesterday with some comments coming in from the president and the plans to fulfill one of his campaign promises and slashing the education department, the progress of that, and some of the work going on at the state education committee to something going on at a regional school district in terms of a bond issue that's going to be coming your way. So plenty to dive into on that category, and plenty to dive into here on the sports scene, as well as we continue to ramp up and press conferences concluding for both Philadelphia and Kansas City. They've had their media day, so we'll be of course, talking a little bit more Super Bowl, and as preparations continue for that. Actually had an opportunity. This is one of the advantages of having classes with me is I'm a sports nerd, and so when we do a news and sports class, this week has been kind of dedicated for the Super Bowl. Yesterday had a very interactive and engaging class, watching some of that media footage and being able to put stories together with some of the media coverage as if they were reporters there that were live on scene. So we're having a lot of fun this week on the CCC campus over in the Platt Building in the Media Arts Department, and that's only going to continue as we move along throughout the week. So great week, excited to get rolling for the show. But first and foremost, let's start with you last night. Rivalry basketball, crosstown matchup between Big Blue and between AC, and we're going to hear more about that matchup coming up here in just a little bit. But your thoughts on what you saw on the hardwood last night?
Yeah, first of all, we've got some comments coming up from Tom Slechta, who's the assistant coach for Zach Foster at Adams Central. We'll hear from him during this hour. Jared Prevent, the head man for Hastings St. Cecilia, we'll hear from him, and also hear from Greg Barrett, the girls basketball coach for Hastings St. Cecilia. So all those guys are lined up and ready to go. The boys game, Adams Central wins last night by a score of 72-50. The Hawks, they scored 50 points, which is one of their better outings of the season against a very good defense from Adams Central. Aiden Schieffer, he was on fire last night for St. Cecilia. He scored 31 points. He had 31 out of the 50 that the Hawks put up last night, but Adams Central did just enough. They jumped out to the early lead and kind of put her on cruise control in the second half, which was kind of irritating to the Adams Central coaching staff. Didn't like the way they finished the ball game last night, but anyway, Adams Central wins the boys game 72-50 over St. Cecilia. Girls game, St. Cecilia beat Adams Central by the score of 44-35. Emery Vargas took control of that ball game early for the Hawkettes. Hit 3 3-pointers. Finished with 17 points in the ball game. Nathan Kreekak also had a good ball game for St. Cecilia. She scored 11 points. So it was the St. Cecilia girls and the Adams Central boys picking up victories last night in the jammed house at the Chapman Gym. I like those inner city rivalries.
God, they're so much fun. I mean, they are. They're just. I mean, they're fun to be a part of. They're fun to be a fan at. They're fun to be a supporter of. It's just one of those atmospheres. And I wish that they'd schedule home and homes like we talked about several weeks ago on the show. Get the athletic departments together and figure out a way to do these at home and home. One matchup with Adams Central on the road, one matchup in Chapman Gym, and vice versa with the Hastings High Tigers and AC and Hastings High and St. Cecilia. I think they should get those schools together and do this more often because it's a great atmosphere for the kids. You're playing in at times hostile territory, loud territory that'll get you prepared for some of the bigger matchups as you move along and get set for the postseason. So I'm totally in favor of them playing twice in the regular season, without a doubt.
Yeah, like we said, we dove into that when Hastings High played Adams Central earlier this year. We thought a home-and-home series would be great, but no traction so far. I haven't heard anything. No traction.
We gotta ramp up our efforts for the petition on that.
Yeah. By the way, I'd like to apologize for leaving the show a bit early yesterday.
You just ducked out, man.
Yeah, we got to about 7:57 or so, and all of a sudden, I couldn't do anything. My computer wouldn't let me do anything. I couldn't get on. I couldn't play anything. I just kind of left you hanging out there. So I apologize for that.
And it was funny because at first I thought it was me because it had been me throughout the entire duration of the show. I think as Lou Dog so eloquently put, Tyson's dropping out more than Kansas in the top 10 in terms of basketball. I think that was one of the comments from early on. And yeah, we were struggling with some technical difficulties. We do apologize about that. We had some updates on the software, which, we're not going to update a software when the software we have is working really good. And for a long time, I mean, since we've started this show, this particular software hasn't been the issue. What we use behind the scenes here on Extreme Sports has been very stable, and it has provided us with some really, really good opportunities to not only talk to each other each and every morning, Mike, but to be able to talk to our guests that call in on the show as well. And so we weren't going to fix something that wasn't broke. I mean, my dad... He taught me a lot of things, and one of the most important things he said was, "Don't fix it if it ain't broke, stupid." And so we kind of followed that. We kind of followed that philosophy here on the show, and finally we got to the point where it was due time. We needed to update. But message to tech companies, and this is probably more of a question for Ask the IT guy. Why software companies try to install updates on things that are working just fine?
Oh, probably for bugs and stuff like that. Hackers. They probably try to close.
Who wants to hack into the show?
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, that's what happened yesterday if you were with us, and we got everything all up to snuff here. You talked about some stuff from the Super Bowl. They had their media days. Andy Reid said yesterday he's going to return for at least one more season as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I didn't realize that was in question. I didn't realize that was in the balance.
He's 60? No, I forgot how old he is. But anyway, they've been talking about him stepping down for the past couple of years. He's going to be back for at least one more year, probably more than that. He's chasing records right now. He's got 301 wins, including the playoffs, 3 Super Bowl championships. Of course, he coached the Eagles for 14 seasons before joining the Chiefs in 2013. He does turn 67 next month. But Andy Reid is going to be back. That was one thing that came out of the press conferences yesterday with the Chiefs. Let's see. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, at what point from the coaching staff standpoint do you realize that, like, I've got nothing left to prove? But at the same time, like, he's never given me any indication that he's not enjoying what he's doing.
No, that's what he said. He says, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. He says, you put in this many hours every week, you got to enjoy what you're doing. He says he has no timetable when he's going to step down, but he's 67. Mm-hmm. And Clark Hunt has no short list of possible replacements either. So that means Andy's going to be there for a while.
Another comment that I really, really enjoyed, and this will kind of catch you by surprise again, we got the opportunity to, in my online news and sports class, to kind of check out and feel as if we were like the reporters on scene. We watched both of those as if they were live, or at least good long portions of them. Pat Mahomes impressed me with his comments. Just in general, like, he had the arm hairs at full attention when he was talking about his passion for the game of football and how much he loves the game of football and what this game means on a broad sense when you're talking about how many eyeballs are on the game of football. Like, that got me excited. And just one of those, like, run through a wall moments. And I know I've given him crap before for his current voice, but at the same time, like, I'm like, go Pat. And I get why he's one of those characters that the Kansas City Chiefs can easily get behind. He doesn't appear, at least on the surface, to have that prima donna quarterback attitude that we so often see, especially at this level. It's not all about him. I mean, it's about his guys. It's about this game, and this game he loves. That really shined in yesterday's press conference. I mean, whether or not he actually believes that or whether or not that's actually the case in the locker room, irrelevant. Like, he said the right words to make him halfway likable, almost.
I've been telling you that. I've been telling you that for years now.
Weird.
Jump on the bandwagon, my man. Jump on the bandwagon. And I see one other thing. It's okay for the Kansas City Chiefs to use three-peat. Evidently, that was a trademark statement that was owned by Miami Heat president Pat Riley. Mm-hmm. He owns the trademark rights to the term three-peat. Well, Pat Riley says it's okay for the Chiefs to use that, even though that he's got the trademark to the words three-peat, and he owns 6 variations of the three-peat trademark. So, but he came out yesterday and says it's okay for the Chiefs to use that. Of course, Pat Riley, I guess he trademarked that phrase back when he was the head coach of the Lakers, and they were going for a three-peat. That never happened because the Bulls beat him. Mm-hmm. But anyway, he owns the trademark to a three-peat, and he says it's okay for the Chiefs to use that. So it's okay. We can talk about the Chiefs and a possible three-peat coming up on Sunday in the Super Bowl because the trademark is okay. It's okay.
Well, good.
So I'm glad that Pat Riley stepped up and got that handled.
Would you guys probably have used it anyway, I'm assuming.
It's like we're not supposed to use Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's always been the stupid thing.
The media people are not supposed to use Super Bowl when we do commercials.
Right.
We can do it on this side of things, but like radio stations are not supposed to use the term Super Bowl because that's a trademark deal there. They're supposed to use like the big game. That's why you don't hear Super Bowl a lot. Like on TV advertising, they put it some other way, like the big game or something like that.
Yep.
We don't have to adhere to any of that crap over here on this side. So
it's Super Bowl 59.
If we want to call it Super Bowl, we're going to call it Super Bowl. All right, what else is going on? Oh, Mason Crosby, the former Packers kicker.
Yeah.
He didn't play this season in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Announced his retirement yesterday after 17 seasons. He's 40. No, he's not going to kick again.
He's a man.
Yeah, he's the Packers' all-time leading scorer after kicking for the Packers from 2007 to 2022. He's got 1,918 points for Green Bay. Gave him 864 more than any other Packer. So no more Mason Crosby. I think I had him on my fantasy team a couple of years.
I was going to say, I hope you didn't have my fantasy team this year.
He didn't. If he would, wouldn't have scored a lot of points for me.
No.
Yeah, he didn't play in the NFL this year.
So,
But yeah, Mason Crosby is calling it quits. You see who's going to be at the Super Bowl in addition to Taylor Swift?
oh yeah, that news came out.
Donald Trump,
That news came out yesterday.
first sitting president to attend a Super Bowl. He also plans to sit down for an interview with Fox News reporter Brent Byer as part of the network's pregame programming, which is set to be taped from Florida before the game. So, in addition to Taylor Swift, Donald Trump is going to be on hand at the Super Bowl this week.
When I think football, I think Fox News. Like, what? That doesn't make sense. Fox News is taking their team down to the Super Bowl, or is like it airing on actual Fox?
I think it's airing on Fox.
All right, so
Yeah, Super Bowl's
cancel
airing
pregame
on-
plans. They'll just continue to be in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's Fox is going to have the game this week.
Watch the Puppy Bowl right up until this kickoff.
Oh yeah, you watch that, the Puppy Bowl.
I might start this year if that's our pregame chance.
Well, it starts. I see the pregame starts like at noon.
Oh God.
If not 12:30, I think it's 12 or 12:30. Pregame starts
Yep.
on Fox. The kickoff, by the way, is at like 5:30. So you got like 5 hours of pregame stuff, but that's all right. There's going to be some concerts.
Lots going
There's
on.
going to be some concerts and other stuff.
I just realized, like, I'm not even going to watch the pregame show at all, and it's not even for that reason. I'm not going to watch the pregame show at all. I'll be just finishing up with show number 3 of Invisible Eddie over at the Grand Island Little Theater. So, yeah, we're having a show.
You got a show on Sunday?
It's a Sunday matinee. We'll be out before kickoff, I've been told, because that was a very big sticking point when they asked me if I wanted to be a part of the show. I'm dead serious. I looked them in the eye. I'm like, well, that is Super Bowl Sunday, so probably not. And they're like, no, we have a matinee Sunday. It's okay. You'll be done before kickoff. And I go, all right. If
You
you're
got to
sure.
guarantee me.
If you're sure. Because if we're not, like, hell and high water, we could be in mid-scene, and I'll be like, all right, well,
I gotta go.
Kickoff. See you later.
Legal American sports books are anticipated to take in $1.39 billion in bets
Jesus, billion.
for the Super Bowl this weekend. That is up from $1.25 billion last year. There's more states that have legalized gambling now, so they expect $1.39 billion to be wagered on the game between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Football bettors are looking to keep a positive spin on things. They had a good month. In late January, the state of Nevada reported that its sports books took in a $5.3 million loss on NFL and college football bets in December of 2024. So the public won in December of 2024. That's their biggest loss on football since November of 2012, and it's rare for bettors to win. That's why I always say you bet against the public, because Las Vegas wasn't built on winners.
Yep.
But evidently, in the month of December this year, the public ripped Las Vegas sports books to the tune of $5.3 million, and they're hoping that trend continues for the Super Bowl when they wager $1.39 billion on the game between the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Remember when I told you to take Kansas last night? Told you to take Kansas because that line looked fishy. Vegas is trying to get money back. They created a very, very fishy line that had a good majority of the public on Iowa State. Kansas clobbered them, 69-52. Kansas covers easily, and the Jayhawks pick up the win against a top 10 team like Iowa State. So Kansas back on the winning track. Their roller coaster continues.
We've been good at picking out the lines that seem to be fishy.
We've been really good at spotting the obvious trap games.
Yeah.
If we had a segment like Star Wars 4 where the Commander Akbar says it's a trap, that would be a segment. I think we could figure out like the one line out of the week that looks like the trap game. To me. That smelled like a trap.
We had it with Nebraska.
We had it with Nebraska. We turned around. We picked up a good dub with Kansas last night. When we don't have 5 of these damn things to pick from, we're pretty good.
When we just concentrate on one. Well, you keep monitoring that and pass those along. We're filling up cash boxes all over the place.
Just little tiny drops of goodness for your wallet today. So yeah, if you played Kansas last night, as I had recommended on this show, you're sitting pretty today. KU with a big win over Iowa State last night.
All right, 7:20. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. Thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, maybe on your smart speaker, Roku TV, on the Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us, or if you're watching us, that's great too. We got cameras set up. A lot of people watching us this morning. Got several people in the lobby, so to speak. Drop us a message if you'd like on the social media sites. We're monitoring all those. If you'd like to give us a call, we always are happy to talk to you. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. 402-834-1330. Gonna be hearing from Tom Selected coming up here in a little bit. Jared Prevett, Greg Barrett, concerning their games last night involving Adams Central and Hastings St. Cecilia. 7:21, time for a news update.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
News this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where since 1946, the Hastings Federal Credit Union has been a part of the Hastings community, and it's community that is at the heart of everything they do. As a nonprofit financial cooperative, the credit union is owned by the members who join, and joining, well, it's as simple as opening a primary savings account. Get from point A to point B and everywhere in between with a low-rate vehicle loan. Now, whether you're committed to camping or, like Mike, love living the lake life, you can also count on the credit union to finance your next big toy. They even do personal loans for life's little curveballs. So with the affordable low rates, the convenient repayment options, and the friendly local staff that knows each member by name, why don't you take a moment and see for yourself what the credit union difference is all about? That's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online, hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. Let's start off this morning on the topic of education. Yesterday, on the big news national front, President Donald Trump preparing to gut the U.S. Department of Education to the full extent of his power, directing his administration to slash spending while pressuring employees to quit. Yet, his promise to close the department is colliding with pretty harsh reality for him. Most of its spending and its very existence is actually ordered by Congress. An executive order in preparation by the White House appears to recognize the limits of the president's powers. The planned order would direct his education chief to start winding down the agency, but urge Congress to pass a measure to abolish it. More to come. At the state capitol, the legislature's education committee heard for the first time a proposal to require schools to have policies restricting cell phones. Senator Rita Sanders introduced the cell phone bill at the request of Governor Jim Pillen. It would require schools to adopt policies to prohibit cell phone use on school property or at school functions. Which is weird. Like, why would you need to at basketball games? With exceptions. Sanders said she's trying to address a problem that's hurting students. The president of the Nebraska State Education Association said teachers support the proposal, but the biggest problem in reality could actually be the parents. Meanwhile, Ravenna Public Schools will ask the community to vote on a school bond issue to create a safer, more inclusive, and updated school for their students. The project will address urgent facility needs and improve the school's learning spaces for agriculture, art, welding, robotics, middle school special education, and more. It'll provide secure entrances and keep all students under one roof. To fund the project, the Ravenna Public School Board of Education has called for a special election coming up on March 11th for a school bond not to exceed $5.5 million. It'll be an election by mail. And it was a very early morning for members of several Hull County fire departments yesterday. A mutual aid call came in about midnight for a structure fire at a private mechanic shop in Elda. Most crews, including Grand Island Rural, were able to leave the scene at around 3 a.m. The mechanic shop is a total loss. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire unknown at this time. Coming up on 7:25, we'll swing things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike Will, what's going down in sports?
Well, Nebraska men's basketball player Bryce Williams has captured a pair of national honors. Williams was named the AP National Player of the Week and was named one of the 5 players to win the United States Basketball Writers Association Player of the Week honor. Williams averaged 27.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game in a pair of Husker wins last week. On Monday, Williams was named the Big Ten Player of the Week. Jordan Ball, Olivia DiNardo, and Ava Kuzik have been recognized as Big Ten players to watch. Ball is a Husker pitcher who sat out last season with a knee injury. DiNardo is a catcher who hit .340 in 102 games for Arizona last year. She also had 15 doubles, 20 home runs, and 74 RBIs. Kuzik hit .278 for Wisconsin last year with 16 doubles, 10 home runs, and 33 RBIs. Huskers open the season on Thursday against 6th-ranked Tennessee in the Leadoff Classic in Clearwater, Florida. Hastings College basketball teams will play host to Mount Marty tonight at Lynn Farrell Arena. The Bronco women beat the Lancers earlier this season, 75-60 in Yankton. The men lost to Mount Marty 72-47. Women's game will be at 5 tonight. The men to follow at 6:45. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports beginning with a pregame show at about 4:45 this afternoon. Senior center fielder Eden McNally laced a 2-out walk-off triple to left center to help Nebraska Kearney beat Hillsdale Michigan College 5-4 last night in Honolulu. UNK dropped their season opener to Ferris State earlier in the day, 7-4. Lopers are off today. They'll play 2 more games on Thursday and 2 more games on Friday. Aiden Schieffer scored a game-high 31 points, but St. Cecilia dropped a 72-50 decision to Adams Central last night at the Chapman Gym. The Patriots outshot the Blue Hawks 47% to 43% and out-rebounded St. Cecilia 27-17. Hunter Nepple had 19 points for the Patriots. Adams Central is now 12-7. St. Cecilia falls to 1-18. Other action last night, Hastings High beat Northwest 64-44. The Tigers are now 10-8. The St. Cecilia girls beat Adams Central 44-35. Emery Vargas hit 3 3-pointers and finished with 17 points. Nathan Krekak had 11. Kendall Consbrook had 11 for the Patriots. St. Cecilia now 11-8. The Patriots fall to 7-10. Also in girls basketball last night, Northwest beat Hastings High 38-29. The Tigers have now lost 6 straight games to fall to 4-14 on the season. And 6 Sandy Creek seniors have signed letters of intent. Ethan Shaw has signed with Fort Hays State to play football. Cage Kackmeister will play football at McPherson College. Ben Sullivan will compete for the Concordia track and field team. Riley Skalka will play basketball at Hastings College. Hudson Devlin will play football for the Broncos. And Jack Clark has signed a letter of intent to compete in track and field at Southeast Community College in Lincoln. That's a check on your sports headlines this morning, 7:28 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Starting off the day on the chilly side once again with teens and only warming into the low to mid 30s throughout the day. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. Decreasing clouds throughout the day, more sunshine in the afternoon, a high of 34. East-southeast winds becoming south-southwest at about 10 miles per hour throughout the day. 21 is the overnight low with mostly clear skies tonight. Thursday, we return back to the mid-40s with plenty of sunshine. Same on Friday, and then we're back to the 30s for the weekend.
Right now we've got east winds at 7. It is partly cloudy, 17 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Extreme Sports has been bringing you the exclusive home of Hastings College Athletics, and we're just getting started. Thanks to our incredible sponsors and your support, Extreme Sports 2 has been a huge success. And now we're excited to announce the launch of Extreme Sports 3. With Extreme Sports 3, you'll get even more local sports coverage. Plus, 24/7 access to Sports by Line, where you'll hear the best in national sports talk. Whether it's Hastings College, high school action, or the latest from around the sports world, we've got it covered across all 3 streams. And don't forget, when we're not broadcasting games, join us weekday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. for Huddle Up with Mike Will and Tyson Havronik. It's the perfect way to start your day with sports, news, weather, and great local interviews. So tune in, check out all 3 streams, and stay with us for even more sports coverage coming soon. Thank you to our sponsors for making it all possible, and to you, our listeners, for keeping Extreme Sports strong.
Mike Will, Tyson Havronik with you on this Wednesday morning. Good morning from Extreme Sports as we get you up and get you going here today. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're on our website at x-streamsports.com, on our mobile app, on your smartphone, smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. Thanks for joining us. Again, you can leave us a message on our social media sites or give us a call, 402-834-1330. Ryan Martin chiming in. He says, we talked about Kansas earlier with a big win over Iowa State last night. He says the Sunflower Showdown Part 2 is coming up on Saturday, KU at K-State.
Jayhawks and Cats.
Cats are on a 3-game winning streak now. They're still outside the top 10. I think they're, they're 12th or 13th I saw this week.
All right.
But KU and K-State coming up this Saturday.
Well, for Kansas fans, I think you got to be looking for some consistency right now. Pick up a big win against Iowa State, but you had 2 blunders along the way, so it's kind of been one step forward, one step back. They've kind of been stuck in neutral and trying to get some momentum as they push through here in this month of February. This is the kind of the time where you need to start putting it together and build your team for a potential postseason run. We've been talking all week, knock on wood, that Nebraska appears to have put the schneid behind them and have focused forward, as they've started to play some much better basketball as of late. And again, I shake my head and I hold my breath when I see the chatter in regards to March and what this could all mean for Nebraska basketball. Saw a column that came in from Husker beat writer Tom Chattel yesterday, and he was putting his numbers together for a potential big dance run and trying to make him build a case for Nebraska. But let's win games first, right? Like, let's take care of business and see what we can do in the Big Ten tourney, and then let's talk. Then let's talk about March.
Huskers
Huskers
play tonight. The Huskers play tonight out in Washington.
That's a big game. It really, when you take a look at the games you got to have, if you're going to build a resume, we've got an impressive one.
Yeah, you got to win. Got to win Sunday against Oregon, so we stay on the West Coast. We play at Washington tonight. We're probably not going to see one play tonight. 9:30 tip-off.
Beautiful.
Yeah, 9:30. Well, it's the West Coast.
It is. I know.
So it's 9:30 tonight Central Time. So if you want to stay up and watch Husker basketball, it'll be a late one tonight.
We're not going to live stream. We're not going to live stream us just watching basketball at 9:30 at night. It would be a boring live stream because all you see would be me asleep on the couch. We had some comments that came in, and maybe we approach this and do this on some game moving forward down the road. I was receiving comments during the AFC title game when Buffalo was playing Kansas City, and they said what would be perfect viewing to accompany or even for an alternate broadcast would be if we had gone live on Extreme Sports while we were watching the game. Obviously, our cameras couldn't be on the game due to copyright issues, but the cameras would be on us watching the game and providing commentary
as the game wore on.
As the game wore on,
that could be interesting.
Yeah, and you know what? At first, I dismissed it. I'm like, there isn't enough. We try to keep the show PG, and when I'm watching football, there's a few extra choice words that are 4 letters that I throw in, especially when I'm yelling at my coach for running quarterback draws to the left side. That's clearly been picked up by the Kansas City defense. There's some choice words that get thrown out and hurled out. I'd have to try to really, really hone in and rein in on those. But then the more I thought about it, I'm like, people do that. People do that, and they get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of views. There's one guy that just does commentary on Bronco football. He is one of the biggest subscription guys on YouTube right now. So the more I thought about that, I'm like, we could do that some Sunday.
Yeah, we could do that.
Just fire up our TVs at noon and just have a football watch party. That'd be kind of fun.
I'm trying to think of what I did for the Kansas City Buffalo game. Oh, I went to a house party.
Yeah.
I probably would have been all right.
Yeah.
I would have probably been all right with a camera on me.
You were sitting just fine.
Yeah, I was sitting all right.
You didn't have anything to complain about. I was making a few extra runs to the fridge in that game because...
Well, I was drinking my favorite beverage too, but...
Right.
I think I was in complete control.
I don't think that's the issue. I think most people realize that that's a reality when
we
those
might
teams get together.
Have to bring that to the board.
Next
board meeting. Maybe for the next football season, we could sell that segment.
Mm-hmm.
Sell that segment, Mike and Tyson. It's like the Manning boys.
Yeah, it would just be like that. It'd be
they have a Monday night Manning Brothers show.
Yep.
I've never seen it, or I think I flipped over once and didn't like it, so I flipped back to the regular channel.
I don't have a TV here in the West Side Studios, but could take you out to my living room. That's certainly a possibility.
What do you mean you don't have a TV?
I don't have a TV in the West Side Studios. The studio itself does not physically have a TV.
Yeah,
I'd have to take you out to my living room.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
You get a great view of the rest of the household here. Bring it to the board.
Let's talk more high school basketball from last night. Again, the Adams Central boys picked up a win over St. Cecilia last night. Chapman Gym, final score of 72-50. After the ball game, we caught up with Adams Central assistant coach Tom Sleck. Coach, congratulations for the win. Got into the early lead and put her on cruise control tonight.
Yep, I think you said it just right, Mike. I thought we had pretty good energy for most of the first half. They hit a bunch of shots. Credit to old Schieffer, he was on fire, right? He looked like Terry Shuck out there at the YMCA, just banking shots. He hit the half quarter. we were a little disappointed in our guys. Like at the end of that first, we subbed and we said, make them pick it up, make a tough shot. And we just kind of let them saunter up and just cast it. So that was a good learning lesson because that could have been in a district final. It could have been sub-state. And I'm telling you right now that really good shooters, especially if they've hit 2 or 3, they'll hit that 1 out of 5. And so we hopefully learn some things. We didn't rebound as well as we did over against Northwest and against Crete. And credit St. Cecilia and their coaches. Credit all those guys. Those guys did a great job. So Prevet, Kierkegaard, and Logan Schultz, they should be really proud of their kids' efforts. They have a lot of guys out. They just had another kid who had an injury just yesterday. So they've had 3 or 4 of their starters that they've lost through the season. So they did a fantastic job. I am not downgrading like our guys' performance. There were some good things on our side, but I really think they came out and they played harder than we did tonight.
St. Cecilia played right to the final buzzer too, and they didn't let up. They were out of the game early, but they kept playing. So feather in their cap.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, you can. We're up 24 at the half, but you wouldn't know that if you watched like 1 or 2 of the plays. It looked like it was a 5-point game.
Talk about you guys. I thought you played well in the first half. Got out to the 22-13 lead after the first quarter. Like you said, had a lot of energy right out of the gates. Yeah, of course, whenever you come to St. Cecilia, it doesn't matter what the records are or who's better or worse. You're going to have a really, really intense game here. I thought Austin Vance did a great job of getting out and running. Hunter as well. Hunter, this is a game where it's hard to gear up that brain, so some of the shots he probably hit against Crete, he had 28 against Crete, and today just some of them didn't go in. They were good looks. I thought we moved the ball well. I thought we ran in transition pretty good at times in the first half, and sometimes we didn't throw it ahead enough. So those are the things I thought we did well, mostly sharing the basketball. Just some of the shots didn't. I guess we scored 44 in the half, but it feels like we felt like we had some shots. We left a couple, out there we could have hit. You talked about maybe the second half being a little disappointing. Didn't maybe keep the foot on the accelerator like you wanted to. What did you see in the second half? It's just energy. I mean, if I said anything else, like you get a screen action in the man-to-man and the guy doesn't switch. We saw against Crete we might have had 5 or 7 defensive breakdowns. And we felt like in the second half you could watch for 3 minutes we had 5 or 6 defensive breakdowns because guys were relaxed. And minus Vance, who's a senior, we have sophomores and some juniors playing, and sometimes they don't understand. Like you want to have the mentality of burying these teams. It has nothing to do with the win. It has more to do with not getting into the idea of letting up. So Adams Central wins it here tonight. Again, the final score of 72-50 over St. Cecilia. We talked with Coach in the pregame, really into the home stretch here of your regular season, Coach. Just a handful of games left. What about these next few games before the sub-districts get underway? So obviously every game you got to come out and play. You saw tonight, like St. Cecilia played really well. We think that we have a chance to make a run, and we could get all of them. Ashland obviously is going to be a favorite against us up at Heartland Hoops, and Jacob Moe's a friend of mine. They're going to be locked in, ready to go. So we're going to have a really, really special effort there. The other games, if we played like we think we're capable, it doesn't mean we're going to win, but we think we have a chance in all those games to get wins. So I'm not saying we're going to win them all, but if somehow you can go 5-1 or 6-0, we might be able to get a home district, and that's kind of what you're hoping for. I don't know if we can. You know how it is, wild card points and who wins and who loses and how all that goes, but that's kind of what we're hoping here down the stretch. So we feel like for parts of the first half, we took a small step forward, and then we took a step back in the second half. So we got to kind of regroup and be ready to go next week.
That is Tom Selecta. He's the assistant coach for Zach Foster for Adams Central last night. Again, the Patriots picking up a win over St. Cecilia last night, 72-50. Jared Prevet is the head coach of the St. Cecilia boys basketball team. It's been a miserable year for the Hawks. They got just one win this year. Also met up with Jared following the ball game last night. Coach, obviously a disappointing loss, but feather in your cap, your kids didn't quit there until the final buzzer.
Disappointing loss. I can't call it a disappointing loss. You don't feel as bad like a Lincoln Christian game when you lose by 45 points. Coming into this game, we heard it from the crowd. Everyone I heard before the game, they're like, this probably isn't going to be a good game. One of your starters got injured the night previous. He's not going to be in. He's not going to be playing. And, Aiden Schieffer put up 31 points. And we put 50 points against a really good C1 team. I'm proud of my guys, and I told him once we got in the locker room, I said, there's a lot of negatives. Turnovers, okay, that's fixable stuff. But, it was a really good game.
Talk about Schieffer tonight, out of nowhere, 31 points in the ball game. He just kind of took over the game.
Yeah, he did. I mean, when we look at this, 2 for 2 on the free throws, but I mean, 3-point line. He had that one buzzer beater right at the end of the first quarter, and I mean, that's just effort things. Coach Kierkegaard in the locker room was telling the guys, he says, once they had that 15-point run, he was like, oh crap, this is just how it is with these games, but our guys fought back. Our younger guys, our bench, the guys who came out, fought back, and that's what we needed tonight.
Shot the ball a lot better. Of course, Schieffer helped you out a lot tonight, but you guys shoot 43% from the field, 41% from three-point territory. A big improvement over anything that you've really done all season long.
And it is. It really is. And, I have to give credit to just the whole entire team for stepping up, especially the young guys, those freshmen and sophomores who have been put into a situation where, hey, I'm not expecting, some of these guys were like, well, I don't know if you're going to be able to start or, get suited up. But it's, with the situation we're in, they're taking full advantage to it in the right direction.
Yeah, guys are growing up right before your very eyes, Coach. Here, they've been forced into some playing time here late in the season because of your injuries, but that's good to see for a team that's growing up here.
No, 100%. And, it all starts in our weight room, but then definitely in practices. And at the end of our huddle in the locker room, I said, okay, it was a loss, but it was a good loss. I had to count this as a good loss, but we got top of C1 and C2 coming up with GICC and Lincoln Lutheran. Going to be really tough, just like tonight was tough.
That's Jared Prevet, the head coach for Hastings St. Cecilia. So, again, a big game last night. Adams Central wins over St. Cecilia in the boys basketball last night. Final score 72-50. Here's an interesting note, Tyson. Despite St. Cecilia's record, they are now 1-18 on the season. If the sub-districts tournament started tonight, St. Cecilia would be the number 1 seed in their sub-district.
I'm going to need you to roll that back for me. 1-18?
If St. Cecilia started their sub-district tournament tonight, they would be the number 1 seed in the sub-district with a record of 1 win and 18 losses.
That raises a few eyebrows on the formula, doesn't it?
Well, remember what the schedule that St. Cecilia plays. They play
brutal.
They play all C1 and C2 schools. They played one Class D1 team this year, and they're competing in Class D1 this year as a program. Their sub-district includes Palmer, Blue Hill, and Nebraska Christian. And as of last night before game time, St. Cecilia had a 1/100th of a point lead over Blue Hill for the top spot because of the strength of schedule that St. Cecilia plays. So as of right now, like I said, if the sub-district tournament started last night, St. Cecilia with a 1-18 record would be the number 1 seed.
That's very interesting.
Yes, it is.
Very interesting.
Jared told me that right when I got started last night. I'm with you. I look, what? What? He says, yeah, look for yourself. Palmer, Blue Hill, and Nebraska Christian all have a lower point average than St. Cecilia does because of the strength of schedule of the Centennial Conference. The Centennial Conference. St. Cecilia plays all C1 and C2 teams where they get more power points. And that could change. We still got a couple of weeks to go. But that was kind of ironic last night.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And I think, again, it goes to show, and I've been kind of in favor of, and nothing against the formula, and I understand why you do it the way you do it, but I've always thought postseason, even from sub-districts, whether, I don't care if it's softball, I don't care if it's basketball, however you put these volleyball, these sub-district tournaments together, as soon as postseason starts, just seed it out straight from PowerPoints. That's kind of always been my only tried, true, and trusted formula that I think would be efficient. And it would create kind of these sub-districts from hell, so to speak. We see it certainly a lot on the volleyball court, where you get 3 or 4 powerhouses that play in the exact same sub. God, how many years, Mike, did we go down to the Bill Smith softball complex in B5, right, where you had Northwest, Central Catholic, Aurora, and Hastings High all just chilling out there in the exact same sub, and it's like, man, these would be 4 1 seeds had things been a little bit different. So, I've always been in favor of the seeded out method, but interesting stat. And again, it's not going to go away anytime soon. So St. Cecilia is a 1 seed because of their strength in the Centennial Conference schedule. And the other thing that this does, right, you're 1-15, you played an absolutely brutal schedule, but you're getting sharpened. Your schools are getting sharpened. You're cutting your teeth against some of these Centennial Conference teams. That's going to pay dividends down the stretch. I can't say it enough when it comes to the caliber of competition that you see day in and day out. If you're focused on yourself and focused on getting better and doing the little things and making sure that you're learning from these experiences and not just sitting here saying, oh, we got our tails kicked again by another Centennial Conference team and another C1 school. If you're taking these lessons and applying it to making yourself a better basketball team, it's going to pay dividends down the stretch for Big Blue.
All right, so that's what happened on the boys' side of things last night. Another team that looks to be improving down the stretch is the St. Cecilia girls. They knocked off Adams Central last night 44-35. A chance to meet up with St. Cecilia head coach Greg Barrett.
Coach, a victory tonight, 44-35 over Adams Central. Got off to a kind of a slow start. But looks like you picked up steam as the ball game wore on.
Yeah, we got a bunch of good looks early on. It kind of felt like we probably should have been up by more. I don't know what it was at halftime. I think we were up maybe 5. Oh, I have it right in front of me.
16-11,
16-11, yeah. And then we went on a night like Nathan Creekak went on a run of her own to kind of start the third quarter, and we kind of got a little bit of a separation. I think we got a few chances to maybe put that game away a little quicker. Kind of left them back in the game, but credit to them for hitting some big shots.
Yeah, they actually outshot you guys tonight, 41% to 37%. But again, we talked about your defense, and tonight it forced a bunch of turnovers as AC ended up with 20 in the ball game. A lot of those resulted in points at the other end.
Yeah, that's what we talked about before the game. That's been our calling card, and went on some 3-game winning streaks. The defense has been a big part of that. So you can't ever say our girls don't play hard. I mean, they do play really hard, and they weren't going to take a lot of encouraging or motivation to play hard tonight.
Emery Vargas had 17 in the game tonight, 13 in the first half. Coach, what'd you like about her game?
Well, yeah, you saw that they were running a 1-3 chaser on Avery, really trying to take her out, just kind of something different you don't always see. And Emery's had a big jump from her sophomore year to her junior year, and she's averaging, around double digits. And you know what? If she's open, that's one kid you want in the gym shooting it. So she had a great first half to get us that lead, and then everyone else kind of settled down and started chipping in.
Knocked down 3 3-pointers in the ball game, so she not only scored within a few feet of the basket, she also scored from three-point territory.
Yeah, she's been a good one. Yeah, like I said, that confidence with her has been great to see, and it's been fun to watch her and Avery when they get going.
Got out to a 30-25 lead after 3, 44-35. The final score, like you said, you had plenty of chances maybe down the stretch to seal this game up and couldn't do it. The AC just kind of hung around within the striking distance.
Yeah, we were starting to get a bunch of runouts, and we'd miss a layup, and then they'd run down and knock down a 3, and just couldn't quite extend it to more. I mean, like I said, credit to them, but it was good to see our girls just stay the course there and finish the game off at the end. You look up and you win by double digits in a game like this. You'll definitely take that anytime.
Add a little confidence now as you really get into the final stretch of your season here, regular season, and into postseason play here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think that we got 2 left and we're at districts already. So, yeah, we'll go out to Lincoln on Saturday and 1 at home versus GICC next Thursday, and that's it. So, really encouraged that after conference, this is the kind of results you get, and hopefully, it seems like we are kind of trending in the right direction.
All right, Coach, we'll see you again.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Mike.
That's Greg Barrett, the head coach for Hastings St. Cecilia. So the Adams Central boys won last night. The St. Cecilia girls won on their side. So that rivalry continues, and it was a good night. Jammed house last night at the Chapman Gym. So
split between Big Blue and the Pats.
All right, 7:53 now as you wake up with Mike and Tyson here for a Wednesday morning on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
News this hour brought to you by the Hastings Federal Credit Union, where they've been lighting the way to financial success since 1946. Hastings Federal Credit Union, proud to be your trusted long-term financial partner. Committed to providing the highest level of quality services, the Hastings Federal Credit Union provides banking services to all those living or working in Adams, Clay, Webster, Nuckolls, Thayer, and Fillmore counties. And with affordable loan rates, mobile banking, and a friendly staff that treats you like family, really, why would you go anywhere else? It's Hastings Federal Credit Union, 707 North Marion Road, or online, hastingsfcu.org. Hastings Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender. We'll start off this morning at the state capitol, where the legislature's Education Committee heard for the first time a proposal to require schools to have policies restricting cell phones. Senator Rita Sanders introduced the cell phone bill at the request of Governor Jim Pillen. It would require schools to adopt policies to prohibit cell phone use on school property or at school functions, with exceptions. Senator Sanders, said that she is trying to address a problem that's hurting students. The president of the Nebraska Education Association said teachers support the proposal, but the biggest problem could actually be the parents. Meanwhile, over in Ravenna, they are asking the community to vote on a school bond to create a, quote, safer, more inclusive, and updated school for students. The project will address urgent facility needs and improve the school's learning spaces for agriculture, art, welding, robotics, middle school special education, and more. It'll provide secure entrances and keep all students under one roof. And to fund the project, the school board has called for a special election on March 11th for a school bond not to exceed $5.5 million. It'll be an election by mail. And something I did not know, despite being a CCC grad and now instructor over there, the Dental Hygiene Clinic at Central Community College in Hastings has opened for the spring semester, where both adults and children can get preventative care such as cleaning, x-rays, fluorides, and sealants at the clinic. A minimal fee is charged for the services provided. Medicaid is accepted, and the clinic will be open through April 30th. So if it's time for that dental checkup, why not check up with CCC? 7:56, Mike, we'll swing it back over to you. What's happening in sports?
Well, Nebraska men's basketball player Bryce Williams has captured a pair of national honors. He was named the AP National Player of the Week and also was named one of the 5 players to win the United States Basketball Writers Association Player of the Week honor. Jordan Ball, Olivia DiNardo, and Ava Kuzek have been recognized as Big Ten players to watch this season. Huskers softball team will open the year on Thursday against 6th-ranked Tennessee in the Leadoff Classic in Clearwater, Florida. Hastings College basketball tonight against the Lancers of Mount Marty. Early tip-off time, 5 o'clock for the women. Guys will follow at 6:45 tonight. We'll have the action here on Extreme Sports beginning at 4:45 this afternoon. UNK softball team opened the season yesterday in Hawaii. They got a walk-off triple in the 7th inning to beat Hillsdale Michigan College 5-4 last night. They lost their opener to Ferris State 7-4. They're off today, and the Lopers will play 2 more games on Thursday. Again, in high school basketball last night, the Adams Central boys beat St. Cecilia 72-50. Hastings High over Northwest 64-44. St. Cecilia girls over Adams Central 44-35. And the the Hastings High girls, they lost to Northwest by the score of 38-29. That's a check on your sports headlines this morning at 7:58.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Starting off the day on the chilly side once again with teens and only warming into the low to mid 30s throughout the day. Hey everybody, Tim Jones, Nebraska Weather TV. Decreasing clouds throughout the day, more sunshine in the afternoon, a high of 34. East-southeast winds becoming south-southwest at about 10 miles per hour throughout the day. 21 is the overnight low with mostly clear skies tonight. Thursday, we return back to the mid-40s with plenty of sunshine. Same on Friday, and then we're back to the 30s for the weekend.
East winds this morning at 7 miles per hour, partly cloudy. It is 17 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Join us for the Little Blue River Pheasants Forever Banquet and Auction, Saturday, February 15th at the Adams County Fairgrounds in Hastings. Social hour begins at 5:30 p.m. with dinner at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at the door, $20 for adults and $15 for kids under 16. There's going to be an auction after dinner, and at least 16 youth guns will be given away for ages 5 to 16. Must be present to win. All proceeds from the youth raffle go to the Youth Mentor Hunt and other youth programs. There will be lots of other raffles too. So come join us and don't miss out on the fun.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson Urbanik with you on Huddle Up Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. Again, we'll have basketball coming up later on today. Early tip-off times tonight for Hastings College, 5 o'clock for the women and 6:45 for the guys. That means a pregame show at 4:45 this afternoon. The Broncos and the Lancers coming up today here on Extreme Sports.
Full day of basketball. Catch your Broncos on Extreme Sports. We've got Duke and Syracuse tonight at 6, and then big battle in the SEC, Missouri and Tennessee, top 25 matchup there. And then if you're up for it, literally the nightcap, 9:30, Nebraska taking on Washington. College hoops kind of taking center stage here on the TV guide here this evening. Can we get a download of that background music that we just used for Pheasants Forever there? That was a tasty lick.
You like that?
I was jamming.
Your toes a tapping?
Toes a tapping. Love me good old jig.
I don't know where we got that.
Yeah, we'll have to send me that. I've used that as my baseball intro song.
God.
Batter walk-up music.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again. You can listen to this show again. Just go to our social media sites. You'll see the podcast section. You can listen to us again. Roku TV, I know you can go to Roku TV and click on a replay of this show. Listen to it a couple of times if you want. A lot of informative parts of this show. Mm-hmm. That's what we're about here. We're about education. Education first.
Speaking of education, we got an education on softball. The Clearwater Showcase for Nebraska coming up Saturday. Big-time pitching matchup. Jordy Ball going up against Texas Tech's pitcher Kennedy. She transferred from Stanford. Texas Tech had a huge offseason in the transfer portal. They picked up the pitcher of the year from Stanford, so that pitching matchup coming your way Saturday in the Circle. And
so Jordy Ball is not going to start tomorrow? Or is she going to throw that one too?
My guess is she'll throw two.
Yeah, just show this. Yeah, throw the entire week.
Softball pitchers are it's different from baseball.
Yeah,
you have rotation.
Yeah, you don't have a rotation. If you have a stud pitcher, you just throw her out there as long as she can go.
You have an ace, you go as long as she'll go. She'll be good to go.
All right,
she'll be good to go. So there you go.
All right, something to look forward to on Saturday.
Yep.
All right, we'll do it again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. Thanks for joining us here on Extreme Sports.